This year, on America's Independence Day, while the country celebrated freedom and unity, one small, quiet moment managed to capture public attention. Shiloh Jolie-Pitt, the once-cherished daughter of Hollywood's former golden couple, was seen happily spending the day with her rumored girlfriend, Keone Rose. There was no fanfare, no official statement. Just a quick visit to Fonette's Bakery, some sweet treats, a black graphic sweatshirt, and a casual, comfortable vibe. But that simplicity has quietly unearthed deeper emotional currents beneath the glittering legacy of the Jolie-Pitt family. Now 19, Shiloh is old enough to choose, to speak, and in her own way carve out an identity in a life long shadowed by public scrutiny. Her relaxed presence and affectionate gestures toward Keone don't just suggest a blossoming romance. They mark a significant turning point, a declaration of independence from the image of her once iconic father. But behind this quiet coming of age is a long, sorrowful sigh, coming from Brad Pitt. Once the dream man of millions, Brad now faces a painful truth that no award or role could prepare him for. His children, the very ones he once cradled on red carpets and in candid family photos, are gradually turning away from him, emotionally and legally. Shiloh is not the first to step out of her father's shadow. Before her, Zahara and Vivienne chose to drop the Pitt surname in favor of their mothers. Then, in August 2024, Shiloh filed legal documents to formally remove her father's name, a decision that speaks volumes. It's not just paperwork. It's a deeply personal message, a silent, steady step away from a man who once held her close, now reduced to a fading figure in the rearview of her adult life. And in this spiral, Brad Pitt, the man who once enchanted Angelina Jolie on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith in 2005, and who married her in a fairy tale ceremony in 2014, is now barely a name in his children's lives. Their divorce, stretched over 8 long years, became one of the most emotionally fraught and high-profile separations in Hollywood history. It was never just about dividing assets or custody. It was about trauma, resentment, and a trust that shattered mid-flight. The infamous 2016 private jet incident, where Angelina accused Brad of physical abuse while intoxicated, marked an irreparable rupture. Since then, the distance between Pitt and his children has only grown. Maddox and Pax, his oldest sons, have long been openly distant, even hostile. But perhaps the most heartbreaking layer isn't legal, it's emotional. A close source once revealed, Brad's biggest regret is not being able to fix things with his kids. Though he still has visitation rights with Knox and Vivienne, who are under 18, the emotional connection seems to be slipping through his fingers. Notably, Pitt has never publicly blamed Angelina. He hasn't retaliated, nor has he countered the media narratives. But his silence speaks. It echoes a quiet, aching resignation of a father watching his family dissolve, powerless to bring it back together. On the other hand, Angelina Jolie has embraced a different role, strong, steady, and deeply aligned with her children. Though she keeps her private life guarded, the fact that her children now carry her name is telling. It's not just a preference, it's a statement of allegiance and of trust. Still, this isn't a tale of one parent's failure and another's triumph. It's a deeply layered human story about wounds, forgiveness, and growing up in a world few can understand. Shiloh is no longer the tomboy dancing in her father's arms. She's living her truth, loving as she chooses, walking beside someone she cares about, unapologetically and on her terms. And maybe that's all we need to respect. Among the 3 biological children of this famous Hollywood couple, Shiloh has always drawn the most media and public attention due to her distinct personality and differences from her siblings. Since the age of 2, Shiloh preferred having short hair and wearing boys' clothes instead of the frilly dresses worn by girls her age. To this day, her style remains unchanged. There were even rumors at one point that Shiloh had undergone hormone therapy to suppress female traits in order to explore her true gender identity. Her parents were once deeply concerned about her preferences. Angelina herself once revealed, "Shiloh cried for an entire night when we didn't want to cut her hair. She looked both pitiful and funny. She kept begging through tears, 'Please cut my hair. I don't want to have long hair. I don't want to keep it just because someone thinks I should.'" The role of young Princess Aurora in Maleficent was initially offered to Shiloh, but she turned it down. Brad Pitt also shared that their daughter, at the age of 11, preferred to be called by traditionally male names like John or Peter. Despite being quite different from her siblings, Shiloh has always received love and respect from both her parents. Even as they moved toward divorce, Angelina and Brad have consistently prioritized the well-being and choices of their children above all else. According to observations, Angelina Jolie's eldest biological daughter appeared to have strong chemistry with her dance partner. Both seemed genuinely enthusiastic about the outing. The way they enjoyed each other's company suggested that their relationship went beyond that of simple dance partners. However, others believe Shiloh was simply expressing affection toward a teammate, as she has shown little interest in romantic relationships. While it remains unclear whether Shiloh is currently dating, one thing is certain. She has a deep passion for dance. She devotes a great deal of time to physical training and specialized practice. It's been reported that she recently made her debut at the World of Dance competition, where she performed with her dance crew. Although she didn't have a solo performance, Shiloh still stood out thanks to her striking appearance and perfectly synchronized moves with her fellow dancers. Shiloh has been increasingly compared to her mother, Angelina Jolie, especially for her radiant and charming smile. At 19, she is often described as naturally beautiful and full of vibrant energy. Many netizens even believe she is the most perfect version of Angelina Jolie, inheriting not only her mother's striking looks, but also her graceful, sunlit presence. Born in 2006 in Namibia, Africa, Shiloh was the first biological child of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, which made her an immediate focus of intense media attention. From a young age, she preferred short hair and tomboy-style clothing, choices that later sparked speculation about her gender identity and whether she was seeking to live more authentically as herself. In a recent interview, when asked if she hoped her children would follow in her footsteps and pursue acting, Angelina Jolie responded candidly, "No, I think my kids are very shy and private. They value their privacy." This simple, heartfelt remark reflects how Angelina continues to respect her children's individuality and emotional space, something Shiloh in particular has grown into with quiet strength and authenticity.